Okay. Here we go with a special day. Gonna be doing an interview, which has been a while since we've done one. It's been a while. And just waiting for him to join. I guess people also take time to join from chat. Nice and cool. I like that. I like that. I don't think there's really anything much to say though. I don't have a whole lot. Things are happening. Granted, I did stream yesterday too, so um, don't think really a whole lot happened from that. Just solving problems, and yeah. Prince Najoku, what is up? How's it going? How's it going? Nice little Sunday. There's a lot of streamers actually online right now. Primogen is doing Advent of Code, which is pretty cool to see because he's like doing like DSA problems, and he's actually like pretty strong at DSA. I mean, obviously makes sense because he worked at Netflix, but it's pretty crazy like seeing 3,000 people like watching just someone solving essentially LeetCode problems. But yeah, Advent of Code, man, it's where the DSA I think comes out. I don't know. Never really done it like super serious. Oh, this is interesting. You could do like collab. Solaris and Glump collab. Solaris and Glump. They guess they did it in the past. I don't know. Okay, let's close this out. Close this out. Smiley. Okay, why is my computer actually freezing? This is not what I want to see at this current moment. Oh no. I gotta get that Mac, that M4 Mac Mini. Okay, I don't know what, I don't know if Fuad, he should be here pretty soon. Let's see if I can close out all these tabs. Maybe that'll help save my RAM. Maybe am I, no, that's it. Okay. And I think my sound should be working. Let's connect the sound. There we go. And okay. You got offered at Amazon? Nope. We're doing a interview today. Let's go. We're doing an interview with someone who has an Amazon offer. Call this thing, I guess. And I think I can start this thing now here, right? Which is Start this as a recording. Full-time or intern for a mid-level position. Mid-level Amazon offer. So I think it's about, if you go to levels.fi, you'll actually see it. If you were to go to levels.fi, how much does Amazon pay for mid-level? Hey, what's up? All right, I'm recording now too. I don't think no one can see or hear you yet though, but is that a cool? All right. Okay. Cool. Cool. Um, and how's it going? Nice. Nice. Okay. Cool. I guess do you want to start it? Like I'll show your face and but yeah, just start the interview basically. Is that good? Okay, cool. All right. Cool, cool. Um Let me see. Let me try to adjust this thing too. Could you say something? Or
Hello.
count to like three, I guess, or five.
Yeah.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay. Nice. I think that's should be good. Cool. All right. Yeah. So what we'll do is, I mean, yeah, we'll just guess we'll just start it. Like we talked offline about just kind of stuff, but I'll just kind of like essentially how it'll go is I'm just gonna just ask you questions about your background and what are your thoughts on LeetCode and all that stuff. And there's people in chat too. I think some people. So I mean, we'll see if they have questions or things like that. But yeah, so that sounds good.
Sounds good.
All right, cool. All right, yeah. So I guess can you tell people about yourself, like who, like I guess who are you, what's your background and things like that.
Yeah, for sure. So, yeah, my name's Fuad. I've been an engineer for close to 6 years now. I went more of the traditional path. I'd studied CS in undergrad. I did a bachelor's of science. And I think about 1 year into me doing computer science, I realized that uh, I really wanted to make some good money.
Nice.
I did an internship. I was blessed to do my first internship at US Bank. I was making like 18 bucks an hour. I was like at the top of the world and super pumped and excited. So all my other peers were calling me crazy for doing an internship so soon.
Mm-hmm.
But that summer, near the end of it, I started looking at Reddit. I started noticing a ton of other people doing internships, but their pay was significantly different. Um, I'm talking about, you know, first year Facebook interns, Google interns making like 6, 7 racks a month. Um, and so I guess that's where my focus started shifting towards trying to uh, get good at like data structures in order to get into I guess those kind of positions. And it took a
Yeah.
long ass time.
You said it took a long
Yeah,
time.
it took a long time. Yeah, yeah, because I went to a school where there's only 8 other computer science students,
Mm-hmm.
and we're all following each other as we grew, as we progressed through, I guess, college.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and so, like the learning was so small and so rushed that um, practically I taught myself data structures and algorithms. And so through trial and error and through failing and through like discovering what HackerRank was and then eventually what LeetCode was what got me into my first like tech internship at Nextdoor, and then
Okay.
that was like my first taste into like Silicon Valley tech, which is where I've been like focused on this past 6 years now.
Yeah. Yeah. Like somebody in chat asked, "Are you Somali, bro?" It was Tro Nigos in YouTube.
100%, 100%. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, yeah, no, I think it's interesting because I kind of experienced that too, where like I had a perception of computer science or whatever, and then like in college, and then like I saw things online, even talking to people, other people at the University of Florida, and I was just like, oh my God, like you can actually make insane amounts of money. Like it like blew my mind that you can make $180,000 out of college or whatever. Because yeah, what they pay the interns, I think, is like $40 an hour, $50 an hour, but then you get the actual new grad offer. Yeah, it's way more. And like I remember just hearing that, and I was just like, yeah, there's no way this is real. Like it feels pretty crazy. Like this is
Yeah.
actually yeah. And then that's how it kind of started me with LeetCode. Yeah,
Facts. Facts.
yeah. Did so I mean you said it took a long time. What do you mean like that? Because it sounded like you got it relatively fast. And you said next door, right?
Yeah. So, um,
At least
I
the way you
guess,
described it.
yeah, it took a while, and I'll tell you why. Like, um, I took the data structures class. I spent probably the next like year and a half. So from like sophomore year to like junior year, just doing a ton of data structure and algorithm problems, and then doing a ton of interviews with like tech companies.
Okay.
And the biggest issue I was facing was like not having the network to get the interviews because I
Mm-hmm.
went to the University of North Dakota. um, I didn't have the opportunity to talk to recruiters at my career fair. The folks that showed up to my career fair was the government or the local power company.
Yeah.
And so it took me a while to get actual interviews. I had to join like these diversity programs like Code 2040, and I had to join like randomly add a ton of people and DM them for referrals to kind of get an interview.
Yeah.
Um, and then I guess while I was doing that, I was doing LeetCode, but I was more or less like memorizing solutions.
Mm-hmm.
And I was memorizing solutions for whatever company I could get an interview with. And
Yeah.
so it worked. Like I was able to get an internship at a nice company. I ended up like lucking my way into Foursquare.
Mm-hmm.
And then like through Foursquare, like I had some friends that were interning at Nextdoor. I asked them for a referral. They slid it through, and I ended up just having like I lucked my way. I feel like into that internship as well,
Yeah.
because the two problems I got asked, like I did 4 or 5 times in the past. One of them, and then the second interview, I think I actually just solved the problem I got asked the night before. So it was like the most crazy, unrealistic, like string of events that occurred that like
Yeah.
helped me get that internship.
Yeah.
But then like the reality kind of sunk in once I started working at Nextdoor, and I wanted to leave. Um, I was
Yeah.
like, yo, I tried to interview with like I think LinkedIn. I tried to interview with Twitter because I was like, yo, I'm already nice. Like I'm at Nextdoor, been working here a year. Like I live in SF. Like I can do this, and I just
Mm-hmm.
got dominated. That old memorizing strategy was not it. And
Yeah.
so that's when I really hunkered down and really started getting really good at solving data structure and algorithm problems,
Yeah.
and honing in on um, these like patterns that I guess now are super popular.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. That's interesting too. Yeah. I mean, it sounds like too, you've also had like a pretty long career. I think you said, I mean, I don't know how long actually your career is, but I think you worked at Microsoft and also Lyft.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
And I guess so you figured out the interviews, worked at those companies, and then you quit to kind of launch your own startup and then came back and like what I don't know, I guess how do you feel like it's different and like interviewing now, or do you feel it's different? I don't know, do you have any thoughts on that? Like
Yeah, so I feel like the interviews haven't changed so much. I feel um like the questions you get asked, they're
Mm-hmm.
always going to be the same, like data structure, algorithms. I feel like they select from the same pool,
Yeah.
but like the difficulty and the ability to make mistakes in the interview has
Mm-hmm.
gone down significantly over the years. Like they expect folks to be like flawless. Like you need to 3-point lace every problem you get, or else there's like a little bit of hesitancy, like mixed signal.
No.
I think he was good, but he needed a little bit of help. There's a lot of that,
Yeah.
those kind of shenanigans going on.
Yeah.
And so like you really have to, like the emphasis is on strong code quality and good communication skills. You got to be able to talk through your solution, talk through your problem, and you got to make sure the homie on the other side understands everything you're thinking as you're going through these problems. I think that's the narrative that's shifted. Before there was kind of like a more like benefit of the doubt if you kind of figure it out, but now
Yeah.
with the rise of like these chat GPTs and these little anthropics, and I keep seeing an ad for some LeetCode tool or something on Blind. Have you seen
I
that?
see. I don't know LeetCode tools. I don't also don't go blind that much, but I've seen
Yeah.
LeetCode Wizard, and I think it's a thing like GPT lets you solve LeetCode. Maybe it's like a paired partner or something. I don't know.
Yeah, apparently. Oh, I think it's called Ultra Code. Like
Okay.
it, like watches your screen while you're in an interview, and it
Yeah.
like looks at the prompt and tries to give you solutions. So now
Yeah.
all these companies are like, they got a little bit of that hesitation in their background.
Yeah.
If there's someone who kind of just stumbles and struggles with getting out, like verbalizing a solution, and
Yeah.
so yeah,
Yeah,
it's
Fireship made a video actually like maybe a week ago, and it was like cheating in interviews. But like he talks about like just like the stuff. I guess there was like some guy's tweet that maybe sparked it or something. I don't know. Maybe there's just a growing sentiment that there's more cheating happening. But it was there's he puts it like three levels. Like one is he calls cheating as looking at the questions, company questions. So using
yeah.
LeetCode. There's a website called 1.2 acre or 3 acres. It's like a
Mm.
Chinese website. Yeah, that one's good. They got lots of company questions on there. And then he goes in like this next level, which is I think it's like using GPT. No, I think it's like using GPT or whatever. And then it's like having like your friend in the room with you and all that. Yeah,
Yeah, no, it's different.
yeah. It one thing too I think is interesting is that like you like I feel like 10 years ago. I mean, the interviews were just way easier. Like when cracking the coding interview came out and like the problems that were there. That's I also don't know if it's new grad versus senior level, but like life pre leak code. Like when I was cracking the coding interview, they were asking you about like eggs in like an apartment building and you drop it or something. Um,
Little binary search. Yeah,
yeah,
not no more. Now they're
yeah,
talking about Coco's eating bananas.
nice. Yeah. The okay, and and I guess like what was your strategy for getting the Amazon offer? Like what was your for studying for Amazon?
Yeah, for sure. So
Oh, also BetSimp commented, "Yo, what is up, BetSimp? I gotta." He's like the. I don't know if you know. I mean, I think you know who he is. Do you? Yeah, I think I've told you. I think you've seen
that's
him. Yeah. I did an interview with him, and it was like he solved every leak code problem. Million
oh yep,
dollars. Yeah. Yeah. That's the
yep,
hook.
yep. The
Yeah.
wizard, man.
Yeah.
Shout out to you, dog.
But he said 10 years ago you were competing against plumbers and mailmen. Yeah.
That is facts. That's cool.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, what was your strategy for? I'm not sure how distracting it is. Like me reading chat. I feel like I should probably just be focused on you. I don't know. But yeah. What do you think? What was your strategy for? Yeah, for the Amazon, trying to go through that.
Yeah. So for each company, like everyone has like their own nuance, like how they do interviews, what they expect.
Mm-hmm.
So the first thing I did was I talked to a couple of people that are Amazon engineers,
Mm-hmm.
and I asked them like, yo, what's best practices? What do people look for in the interviews? Um, like, am I going to be running my code? Am I not?
Yeah.
Is it what kind of style is it? And they said, yeah, it's kind of like Facebook style, except like you're not going to be able to run it. You have to walk through your test cases with us. You're gonna use
Yeah.
a traditional text editor. So once I gained like the lay of the land as to how the interview's gonna go,
Yeah.
I then asked him like, all right, Amazon, you guys use a question bank? And he said, nah, we do everything random. Like people just choose whatever they want. I was like, all right, cool. So gotta go hit up LeetCode. And so my strategy with this was uh, try and cover all the topics, like the main topics um, that you'll see in like coding interviews. So like stack problems, queue problems, two pointers, different graphs like BFS, DFS, top sort,
Yeah.
um, and then um, like random graph like try. And then I try to cover, I think, like 8 to 12 of those kind of patterns. So I did
Okay.
my minimum threshold before doing like a FANG tier interview was I need to do at least 120 problems
Okay.
spread across these. And then I need to do 5 to 10 mocks, uh, and half of those need to be system design. And so
Okay.
that was kind of the little criteria I created for myself before I could do the Amazon onsite. For the actual like passing to the onsite stage, like the coding assessment,
Mm-hmm.
I just did a bunch of like random assessments for I think like 2, 3 different companies I applied for. They sent me coding challenges, so I used that to kind of warm up and re-get in the game of doing like timed online tests.
Yeah.
But in terms of like strategy and preparation, I mainly like strategized for the onsite because I knew I could figure things out for like the coding assessment.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, that's interesting. Like, I mean, well, yours sounds way more thorough, honestly, than a lot of people, right? Like, so, like, I think for like the junior engineer or whatever, or even someone who's mid-level, right? Like, there's not even like, hey, let me ask my friends, or even ask Amazon engineers, whatever. Like, even if it's friends or not, but like, they're not doing that. I don't think that they're thinking about proactively doing mock interviews. I think a lot of it's just like, let me just wing it. Let's see what happens. Because I think for a lot of people too, it's some of their first few, like it's their first roundabout. But I think yours is like your experience is more, you've already done it and you already know like what can happen and like what to expect, and you already know like, okay, I should do this to actually improve my chances. Yeah.
no, 100%. Yeah, and I wanted to. I haven't stepped into like an interview arena for like 2 years, 2.5 years. So I'm
Oh, it's been
like,
2 years.
yeah, like this the little gig I was working at. I just kind of someone just handed me the job. It was
Mm-hmm.
like a little contracting job.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't even interview since my the mass layoff at Lyft.
Yeah.
So it's been like 2+ years of not doing interview prep, not interviewing with a company, not being on the other side. So
Yeah.
yeah, mainly me just trying to make sure I brushed off the nerves. I was comfortable thinking out loud in front of somebody I didn't know.
Yeah.
Uh, that I'm comfortable in moments when I'm stuck because maybe I will get stuck.
Yeah.
There's nothing worse than getting stuck in an interview and then being nervous about being stuck. It's like a downward spiraling trajectory.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. I think that can for sure happen. Yeah.
yeah, so I had to kind of break all those nerves, and so that's why I kind of devised this kind of Rock Lee type strategy.
Nice. Rockly. Yeah, I saw your anime profile picture. You got the go well, I shoot Gojo. Wait, yeah, Gojo.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you read the manga?
Nah, I didn't. Like I
Oh.
tried reading it, right? So like Jujutsu Kaisen, I don't read any manga, and the only one I've actually read is Promised Neverland.
Mm.
Because I love the first season. That was amazing. I was like, okay, I gotta read this. And then the second one, the only one I've ever actually tried reading, or like I've tried reading several, but like the only one I could is like Jujutsu Kaisen. But like I can't read action, so like I'm just like looking at the pages like I don't know what's happening here, and I've spoiled myself. Like I know what happens, but
Oh.
yeah. So I
Yeah.
know what happens. I watch all the spoilers. I know what happens,
Yeah.
and but now I haven't actually read it. Yeah.
Yeah. They did my boy dirty, man.
Yeah.
They did my boy dirty.
That was me on my interviews too. I was like, Like I think I had like I'd done like a lot of prep or whatever before one of my Google interviews, and I was like, yeah, like I was like, nah, I'd win. Like, do you think you'd pass? Nah, I'd win. And it was just like it just bodied me. Yeah,
No,
but
100%. That's what I'm on. And it's there's something to be said though, on a serious note, about like positive psyche and like positive thinking, especially with
yeah,
these type of interviews. Like
yeah,
it's so key to say to yourself, "I'm him," you know,
yeah, yeah,
and just believe that you can get this, and that the
yeah.
person on the other side is just there to validate that you should be there.
Yeah, I think it even impacts too for some people, like even do they even want to study, right? So like their mindset of like I can't do this, and so they're like, what's the point of studying? I can't even like there's no way I'm even gonna pass the Google interview or whatever. So like let me just not even solve problems, right? And that it happens on that end too, and it happens too in the interview where it's like, okay, like you just try less or whatever. Like you could probably have figured out the problem, but you're just like you just kind of give up a little early and you don't think you can solve it. Yeah, so I for sure think there's like a mindset aspect. I kind of wish it was more talked about, but yeah, well, nobody's really gonna care. Whatever.
It's so important. It's ridiculously important. I was looking at I took a picture of like I did a bunch of interviews when I was at Nextdoor
Mm-hmm.
pre like pre before I got nice, So I was working full time. I thought I was it. Remember I said I tried to interview with some companies and I got completely bodied.
Yeah.
One of these companies was the pin company and
What's the pin company? I don't know what that is.
Pinterest.
Oh, okay.
And I just got wrecked at a problem that, like, looking back on, was so light. Like, I
Yeah.
took a picture on Snapchat of the like I saw Snapchat memory from 2019, and I looked at the problem, and the caption I wrote was L. I looked at the problem; it was so light. I'm like, yo,
Yeah.
it's so crazy to me how,
Yeah.
like, just doing continual practice makes things so, like, looking back at it, so trivial.
Yeah. I have one of my Facebook interviews. So like I would record my interviews, and I think like from like it had to be 5 years ago. I have like one of my Facebook interviews recorded, and I'm like looking at myself solve the problem. Like I don't even want to watch this. I just like didn't even, yeah, I didn't even finish it. But yeah, actually, I mean that interview actually went pretty. I actually passed that one, but yeah, I mean I just coding it, looking at myself coding from 5 years ago. Yeah. Okay, so for in terms of like people who I guess are trying to actually, you know what? I don't want to go in that direction. One thing I think is kind of interesting is that like you're really social, and it seems like you, or at least it seems to me that you're social, and you talk to like people. You mentioned to me too that you like actually have like recruiters, like you have like a relationship, not relationship, but like you talk to your recruiters, like kind of like as like a friend, and they can like do favors for you and things like that, which is pretty cool, right? I yeah, I want to hear you. I guess just kind of see like how does that work? Like how do you go about like because I don't think I think 99% of software engineers don't talk to their recruiters and it's just like hello, bye, thank you. Um yeah, how do you go about that? Like how do you go about yeah having like talking to a recruiter?
No, for sure. So when I talk to recruiters, like, I think of recruiters as as a person who could be a lifelong, like, relationship.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason I think like this is because, like, tech is so small.
Mm-hmm.
You can have a recruiter that works at Nextdoor today. Tomorrow he's at Robinhood. The next year he's at Anthropic. And this is
Mm-hmm.
somebody I actually know.
Yeah.
And like, thinking of these, like, conversations as transactional
Mm-hmm.
is like one of the biggest mistakes you could make,
Mm-hmm.
because you can get what you want today, but I guarantee you tomorrow, when that boy's at Anthropic or he's at OpenAI and you're applying for a rec and you're not hearing back, you're gonna be like wishing you were more buddies with people.
Yeah.
Um, and so, uh, to bring it like an example, like right now I'm interviewing with Amazon.
Mm-hmm.
I was introduced to the recruiter who I'm working with through a friend who works at Amazon.
Yeah.
immediately after like the intro, we hopped on a call, and I just I said, hey, yo, listen, I know my friend spoke of me very highly. I just want to let you know I'm not here to waste your time. I'm trying to get this back. And so, with that being said, my boy, I just want you to know that when I clear this interview, I need you to make sure I get the numbers that make me smile the hardest. Okay. I don't want to negotiate with you. I know you want me to join. So just do what you can and just be transparent with me. Tell me what the band is. Tell me what you can do for my location. Tell me what you can't. And I'll always be straightforward back. And so that was like the initial tone setting for like our conversation.
Mm-hmm.
And I passed the interview with Amazon. This guy, phenomenal interviewer. Recruiter. He made sure the people who were interviewing me were, at least I had some good representation in terms of color on the interview loop.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, he just did so great. And now that I'm in the team matching stage, like I'm chatting with him through text, saying like, "Yo, what's up with the Black Friday team match? Like, where's the teams I'm supposed to be chopping up with?"
Yeah.
And he's like joking back with me, telling me, "I got you. I'll make sure by
Mm-hmm.
Monday, we'll get you straightened out."
Yeah.
But it's like it's never a bad idea to have an additional ally in a room where people are deciding if you should join the company or not. That's
Yeah.
the way that's one point. And then the second point is like this dude can leave this company in a week and go join OpenAI. And I don't know if you've seen OpenAI's like comp for seniors, but I believe the average is like 850.
Yep.
The hardest part is getting the interview.
Yeah.
For me, I got Lyft and Microsoft on my resume. I can't get an interview.
Yeah.
So imagine you have someone there who's a recruiter, right? Who knows you, knows you're nice with it in code, and knows that you're also someone who can actually communicate. Yeah, they're gonna want to work with you again. And so I guess that's my kind of thought process behind recruiters. Like it's better
Mm-hmm.
to befriend than to transact.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot there too. I'm trying to think of it. Like essentially, what I heard is that like is one, it seems like it's authenticity is like at least right. So like it seems like you're kind of, at least I say like breaking the fourth wall, but it feels like there's like a barrier when you talk to a recruiter and there's formalities. Like they put on like their HR voice,
Yeah.
and there's a different level of talking, and just doesn't feel, it doesn't feel like kind of authentic. But at least from my understanding, at least for hearing you, it sounds like you're more authentic. And I guess do you also have like curiosity or interest like for the other person? I don't know if that's like something that piles in. Like for me, like when it comes to talking to people, I love it, and which is why like I do these interviews too. And like one thing is just like the curiosity for the other person. Like I just love asking people questions and talking to them and all that stuff, and that helps me. Yeah.
Yeah, like I still keep in touch with them. So it's something that like I do like every probably 2 or 3 months.
Yeah.
I check like I have like a little list of folks that I continuously like follow up with.
Yeah.
It's like light networking, I guess.
Okay.
And then I have like a more like intimate group of like friends, and then I also have like a group of like family that I continuously like call and check in on. And so
Mm-hmm.
as part of like the networking part, I continuously re-engage with the recruiters. If they're still at my company, like I'll schedule a Slack to say, "Yo, hope everything's going well," or I asked to hop on a coffee chat just
Yeah.
to chit chat and vibe out.
Yeah.
The recruiter that recruited me to Lyft, like my first week, he bounced. He tried to run his own startup. It didn't work out. Um,
As they
then he
do.
joined Meta.
Nice.
And so then I kind of left or got laid off at Lyft. I started a startup. He reached out to me. We kind of wished each other well. And he keeps pinging me saying, "Yo, if you want that Meta, let me know."
Nice. Nice.
So it's mutual. It's mutual. It's good to make these people as friends, but like the continual networking piece, like checking in on people, you know, having coffee chats
Mm-hmm.
every now and again, see how they're doing. I think this is all part of like my, I guess my philosophy with recruiters.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Um, okay. And then I guess going back, okay, I was trying to think of like which direction to go to here now. Is because honestly, I mean, you answered really like a lot of stuff, and I think also all this stuff is like super helpful. I think for other people like listening, and uh, one thing I'm curious about, I guess, is like mm, what do you think about like working at Microsoft, working at Lyft? I don't know if you, yeah, I guess what's your thoughts on Fang? I mean, because Amazon too, uh, but I don't know if you even want to publicly say like that, but Amazon works you hard. I mean, I can say it, but so I guess I don't know. What's your thoughts on like the FANG companies, Microsoft, Lyft, and how was it like working at those companies? Um, yeah, did you enjoy it? Things like that.
Yeah, for sure. So I left Microsoft after like I think like 6 months. I got incredibly bored. I joined a team where um, they launched the product, and the product was now in maintenance, and they're just kind of making sure there are no issues in production and doing continual on call
Okay.
for the next I think it was like 8 months or so.
Okay.
And I looked at my situation, you know, growing, strong, handsome engineer, and I was like, you know, I don't think I should stick around and do maintenance for 8 months. That's
Mm-hmm.
not something that's going to grow my skills or my career. Um, and so, like, I bounced. I joined Lyft. Lyft, incredible experience. Like, I learned distributed systems. That was my first taste into distributed systems. Nextdoor had a monolithic architecture. They just use
Yeah.
they use Django um, as their monolith. But yeah, Lyft over 3,000 microservices. They have engineers or head engineers that were like super renowned. That came out with these frameworks that got adopted by all these tech companies. So you're with these big heads and you're
Mm-hmm.
just learning. It's like a fire hose.
Mm-hmm.
And I was in love, man. I was like, this is my spot. I'm gonna be here forever, man. I'm never leaving. Then I got laid off.
Yeah.
And so I
Yeah.
guess with these companies, from the outside, like I would have thought Microsoft is more appealing. Like Microsoft's lit, everyone's dream company. Like it's either Google or Microsoft. Like everyone's trying to get in there, right?
Yeah.
But it seems to me like a lot of tech companies are the same, and everything is kind of team dependent.
Mm-hmm.
Like I had friends working in Microsoft that were doing research. I had friends that were working in AI. I had friends that were working on Azure, and they were working like dogs, and they were loving it.
Yeah.
You know, Azure people not so much, but the people working in AI, like they were growing like leaps and bounds every single quarter, working
Yeah.
on impact projects.
Yeah.
Whereas me at Microsoft, shit was tough. I was bored. I was like, oh, this is dead. I'm not liking this at all.
Yeah.
And I was working like 5 to 10 hours a week. My parents were confused why I was complaining. So I guess like what I'm trying to say here is like getting into these tech companies is great.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing. You get good pay, but your experience at all like tech companies will differ based off of like the team you end up joining and like I guess the cycle and the projects available.
Yeah.
And so don't get attached to a particular company. Would be
Yeah.
my point.
Yeah, and it's rough too with the layoffs where like I mean you just wake up. I mean there's a ton of software engineers that just wake up, that day and now their job's gone and so, they gotta get ready on the leak code prep again and yeah, just do that. Did I think like with the layoffs to happen, for me it kind of like eroded my sense of or like my faith, I guess, in the like just corporate world. Um Yeah, I don't know. I guess like how do you feel about that? Like just like corporation like it's a weird question, but like to have it is that like do you think that you'll stay? Do you think you're gonna stay working at Fang? Do you have plans of like retiring early? What's your I guess what's kind of like your long-term goal?
Yeah. Um, so the layoffs kind of reinforced in me this idea that I can't afford to get like rusty with LeetCode. Like I can't afford to not be good at interviewing.
Okay.
Like I always need to be on point. That's one thing. Um, the second thing is in order to like reach my financial target for like retirement,
Mm-hmm.
um, my goal kind of shifted to trying to get the staff, I guess, as reasonably fast as possible.
Okay.
Um, so right now, I'm considered a senior engineer. Amazon, I ended up getting mid-level. I got down-leveled. Um, I think the wherever I end up, I got the rippling offer, by the way,
Nice.
um,
Sick.
for senior.
Sick.
But yeah, wherever I end up, like I want senior, and then I want to make sure that um, I can kind of push the staff as quick as possible because that pay is just so crazy different.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and I guess just working at that staff level for a few years will get me towards that retirement goal very, very swiftly. In a nutshell, like I still do believe in employment.
Mm-hmm.
It's a phenomenal way to fire, like
Yeah.
down blind.
Yeah.
Um, but you like not many people have the opportunity or get the opportunity to really get that done. There's so many layoffs. Maybe people suck at LeetCode. They can't get into tech companies. They can't
Yeah.
get interviews.
Yeah.
Like they're kind of stuck in their own situation.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but me, I've like built something. I've sold it, and now I'm kind of re-going into that employment era where I'm just trying to maximize the money coming in as much as possible.
Yeah. I think you'll get it. I think you'll I think you'll kill it. And yeah, do you know what you do after you retire?
Yeah, bro. Like me, I'm a very simple dude. I want my
Just
house paid
anime.
off in cash, and then I want the like at least I think like 25 years of like expected expenses. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bounce, man. I'm gonna rent out my house, use that income to fund my expenses abroad. I wanna study Arabic full time.
Oh,
I want to
really?
take like 3 years off and just raise my kids back in like in an Arab country, so that they can learn my language, Somali,
Yeah.
Arabic, English, and then I maybe come back when they're middle school age, high schoolish,
Yeah.
kind of push in that direction. I think that's something that I'm going to try and push for. Um,
That's cool. Did
maybe.
have you been to Africa?
Oh yeah, 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 yeah,
Mm-hmm.
absolutely. Actually, this past March, I was in Kenya, and yeah, this past March I was in Kenya, and I just transited, so that doesn't count. But yeah, I was in Kenya this past March, and
Mm-hmm.
then the December before that, I was in Dubai, I was in Saudi Arabia, I was in Jordan. Um,
Dang.
yeah, so I travel internationally every 2 years.
That's sick. Yeah, that's nice. Well, I mean, obviously, or maybe not obvious for people listening, but I live in Colombia, the country, and yeah, I do a good amount of travel. I've never been to Africa though, and definitely want to go. I think it's gonna be Nigeria will be like the first one. Actually, I don't know. Do you know who Drewski is?
Drewski, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well, he did one in Nigeria. That's not why I'm going, but but
That's it.
he did a video in Nigeria. But yeah, no, yeah. Um, that's cool.
Man, yeah, no, we'll see, man. And I think Did you see that post on I think LinkedIn? The dude from Levels FYI posted how much comp seniors are getting at OpenAI.
No, but I know that I can imagine that it's a lot because yeah, there's billions in investment. I think Microsoft invested, I want to say like 10 billion or something crazy.
Oh my God! Like it's 800. Here, let me post it. I think I took a screenshot. Yeah, here we go. I'm sending it on school.
Oh yeah, and Prince told you congrats on your Rippling offer. I think it was that.
Ah, thanks, bro.
I think that's what he was referring to.
Yeah. Oh, this is L6. Yeah, this is the L6 offer. Dude is getting 1.2 mil
Yeah,
a year,
yeah,
850K in equity.
yeah,
And the crazy thing is, after you work there 2 years, you can exercise, you can sell.
yeah,
They have continual rounds where they allow people to sell. So it's liquid money, man.
yeah,
My goal
yeah.
has changed, Raymond. My goal has changed. I'm I'm, I'm shooting for OpenAI, man.
Yeah, I can see that. Nice.
Uh,
Yeah, one thing too is, or that I've heard, at least obviously, like with BetSimp is like the HFTs. Like that's what I kind of learned from him is that there's like that world there, but you have to be crazy good at LeetCode, like better
yeah,
than me, like better than kind of everybody. Yeah,
yeah, I'm good off that. And you got to do
yeah,
C++ and whatnot. Yeah,
yep,
I'm
C++,
good.
yeah, and all that.
No, I'm not interested in that.
Yeah,
Um, I'm not interested. I like sticking to the product. That you're more versatile. You're not stuck in one market, stuck in New York
yeah,
or or London.
yeah,
Um, like it's not. I'm good off all that. And they work you
yeah,
like dogs.
yep, yep, yep,
They work
yep,
you like dogs because most of your comp comes in the form of a bonus when you're at the senior level. Like, yeah, you'll get 300K salary or whatever, but your bonus is going to be like 1.2x or 1.5x your salary. So it's all
mm-hmm,
based on how well you perform in comparison to others. So
mm-hmm. Okay, another question I have too. This is what I ask, like, I guess I'm curious about it, just for people who are like minorities in tech, and yeah, you being black, me being black. Curious on what your thoughts are being black in tech. There's not a lot, not many. Do you have any thoughts on that? Do you care at all? Like, do you notice it at all? Like, or do you feel like you're treated differently or whatever? I don't know.
like I don't think I am treated differently. Sometimes I feel as if I need to show my competence.
Mm-hmm.
And this is in a room where like it's like 15 people, everyone's Asian. And I'm the only
Yeah.
black guy, you know?
Yeah.
So I'll get asked the question and I'll have to pause, really think, and then
Mm-hmm.
give an answer that I would feel happy having given if I were to walk away right now from the meeting.
Mm-hmm.
And so like I guess there's that sometimes. Maybe that's a bit of imposter syndrome speaking versus just me being black and everyone else being something else. But
Mm-hmm.
that's something that I feel now and again. But outside of that, I mean, it's just a job, and I know that back in my mind, like everyone knows I got the juice, that I'm nice. And
Yeah.
so I just assume everyone's on the same page when they're speaking to me or asking me questions.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. It's interesting too because I think, well, I was talking to some guy, or not some guy, but I was talking to someone about this where like programming is really cool because it's like non-deterministic, right? It's just that essentially it's just that, like, does your code work, right? Like it's very easy to
right.
tell if someone's good at their job or not because like they like not easy. I'm we're stretching it too, right? But like easier than most other jobs. There's not that
Yeah,
as much bias as there is, and that's kind of really a nice thing in a program. Like you could be 10xing or whatever performance on your peers, and it's like kind of pretty obvious. But whereas for something like maybe being a lawyer, maybe doing real estate or something, I don't know, but like it's harder, more bias, moving up the corporate ladder, being a manager, whatever. But uh, one thing I mentioned all that, and I was going somewhere with it, was that like it's so yeah, it's nice that there's not as much bias, or at least probably there isn't. At least for me, like I don't notice it and I don't think about it like a whole lot. and I was I was gonna say something. It was actually like pretty good and tied into this. Not ending on that statement that I just said though, but give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Was dang, no, I don't remember. Whatever. Yeah, whatever.
No worries.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it's different. It's different. It definitely feels good when you got other Black people working with you.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yeah.
I often find times like where I'm the only engineer, not only in the team but in the org that's Black.
Yeah.
That's happened several times, and
Mm-hmm.
so whenever I see another Black engineer, another East African engineer, like we got that, we
Nice.
got that nod, you know.
Yeah, no, for sure. 1000%. 1000%. I think I was in Colombia like doing like some LeetCode problems in like this co-working space, and there was like another black guy there, and I heard him like talking about coding or like just programming and stuff like that. And I was like, "Oh, like you program," but like we ended up like talking like for a good amount of time. That guy's like crazy smart too, by the way. He like worked at Amazon. He like started his own like startup in like New York for 2 years, but like he's like I would say he's like pretty close to your level. He's a super cool guy, but yeah, no, just like that. Like I probably wouldn't do stuff like that, right? Like if it's like someone who's like like honestly, like there's a deeper connection, I guess to say, did not sound racist, but there's a deeper connection when there's someone who looks like you who's around you. One thing, yeah, one thing I think is like kind of like that I don't like is is actually no, I don't want to. I don't depends on how edgy that I want to get. And probably better not to be edgy. But I don't think that like yeah I don't know I don't think it's like 100% like no like there's no like thoughts of racism or whatever. But
Yeah,
no, for the most part, I mean I don't even notice anything really. So yeah.
yeah, yeah. I don't like. I just don't pay attention because
Yeah.
at the end of the day, like I know I'm the shit. I know my work speaks for itself, and one of the things that I do a phenomenal job of is
Yeah.
like I hype my own work. So I go around anytime I get I make a crazy performance gain on a system, or I find a bug, or you know, root cause an issue that's causing a bunch of problems, or 70% of problems a team has.
Yeah.
Like I make sure everybody knows it's Fuad, the cold dude that solved this
Nice.
problem, and I'll make sure that other people are giving me public praise so that
Yeah.
I can link that in my performance review, and I'll be like, yo,
Yeah.
run me my bonus, bro. I
Yeah.
need it. I don't need it exceeds. I need it strongly exceeds expectations, brother.
Yeah.
I need that
That's really
bread.
important. That's really important just in general. Like you got to actually write that down. When you do something good, you have to write it down because nobody else is going to do it for you.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's how I kind of just avoid it, especially being one Black person in an entire org. Like I make sure people know my name, not just because of my color.
Yeah.
And that's something that I focus on.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, I think that's it basically for this. I think some people messaged some questions.
Oh
I
sure.
think Prince asked, how do you plan to negotiate for better offers? Have you ever talked to like a negotiation coach or anything?
No, I read Hasib Qureshi's post on negotiation.
Mm-hmm.
I read through his entire blog posts on his process when negotiating with Airbnb. Are you familiar with Hasib Quresh?
Nope.
Hasib Quresh was someone who I think it was back in 2017. He is an individual who was a professional gambler.
Okay.
Okay, and then he transitioned into tech.
Okay.
He joined App Academy. He did phenomenal. He became a teacher there. Really stood out from everyone else due to his algorithm skills and really his ability to transmit this information in a way for new engineers to understand. People who are not from engineering backgrounds understand
Yeah.
how to, these problems. And so he ended up interviewing with a ton of companies, and he ended up getting Airbnb, Google, and like 2 other hot name companies.
Mm-hmm.
And in these like collection of blog posts, he talks through how he negotiated and pitted companies against each other to maximize his end offer. And I
Okay.
think it was 2017. He ended up walking away with like 340 or 350K
Mm-hmm.
total comp from Airbnb.
Okay.
And he lists out his negotiation tactics, his emails back and forth between recruiters, and kind of how he set the tone with each company to make sure that no one pressured him at the end to make a decision.
Yeah.
So it was like a master class. I used that to kind of guide myself as to how to negotiate. But I guess to answer the question, yes, I will negotiate. I will negotiate hard, and I set the expectation with all my companies that I'll be ready to enter final talks closer to the end of this month.
Yeah.
So I have no rush on my end.
Okay. Okay. And yeah, I mean, I think that's it. So I think another question: why did you leave Microsoft instead of switching teams?
Well, here's the thing about Microsoft. If you want to switch teams, you have to do a full interview loop. And so, am I going to do 2 coding and a system design to switch teams internally? Or am I going to go increase my total comp by an additional 150K by interviewing with a company on the outside? So my thought process was, I'm already going to have to interview. I might as well get a bigger bag at a
Yeah.
company that maybe is smaller. Because at that point, Microsoft was the largest company I've ever worked for, and I didn't like that too much. And so I went
Yeah.
from startup to super big. I said, let me find something that's mid-sized. Lyft was the perfect fit.
Yeah. Cool. Cool. Last thing is like what advice would you have for someone who is, I guess, starting their job hunt, like at like 2 years experience, and they got their job basically when it was like the high end of the season, or let's say they just got laid off, right? And they were
Mm-hmm.
just planning on staying at their company, and yeah, now they got to like find a new tech job. I guess what advice would you give to them? Or
Yeah.
yeah, I was gonna say, if that question's hard too, um, or it could just be like, what advice would you give to like a college student who's like deciding to study computer science?
Yeah, I'll take the first one. If I just got laid off and I have 2 years of experience, I'm trying to get a job, I'll tell you exactly what you should do or you should consider doing. One, set a super ambitious goal. I want to work at OpenAI, or I want to work at, Google AI, or I want to work on just something ambitious.
Yeah.
Number one. Number two, create a roadmap. Reverse engineer how you can get there. What do you need to learn? What do you need to do? All these tech companies, they have what they expect from you listed on their site when you're applying. Like, you got to know these algorithms, these algorithms, these algorithms. You got to be nice at this. And then on top it off, they have a YouTube video that shows you what the interview is going to be like.
Yeah.
So you already know what they're going to ask. So boom, you've made intention as to what your goal is. Number two, you know how to get there. And number three, schedule it out. Make a week by week plan and goals
Mm-hmm.
to achieve it. Whether the goals end up being 3 months or ends up being 6 months, figure it out. And then I guess the fourth thing I would say, or third or fourth thing I would say, is like, whatever your original plan is, like, cut it in half and then rush to get it done. The way I think of like switching jobs or doing anything is like, the longer it takes, the harder it is for like the hamster wheel in my head to keep spinning on it.
Yeah.
And so I need a quick turnaround. I know I can focus and go 110% for 3 months, and then at the end of that, I need something. I need to walk away with something, or else
Yeah.
I'm quitting.
Yeah.
Right? And so you need urgency. You need not only dedication, but you need urgency, and you need a sense of like rushing to try to achieve the goal. I think if
Mm-hmm.
you do those three things, like you'll either hit your goal or you'll hit a goal that like you'll be very pleased with, and you'll be at the end of it all, you'll still be grateful that you put in all that effort.
Yeah,
Um,
no, great. Yeah, great. I think that's good. Nice.
yeah.
All right. Cool. Yeah, so that's it. That's all I got. Thanks for doing this. Super, I mean, super helpful. I think too, you said a lot of things that were really, really huge for people. Just improving like just during like the job hunts and all that. So that's great.
For
Did
sure.
you want, I guess I don't know, you're not really like public at all. I don't think you're doing any public stuff, but yeah, did you have anything? I guess that you wanted to to publicize, shout out. I don't know. I don't know. Publicize your LinkedIn. I don't know. I have no idea.
No, not at all. I mean, add me on LinkedIn. That's about it.
All right. All right. All
Yeah, add
right.
me on LinkedIn. That's it. My name's Fuad.
All right.
Um,
I'll put your LinkedIn too at the bottom of this.
Sweet.
All right. Cool. Thanks, Fawad.
Thanks, man. This was cool. This was smooth.
Yeah. Good luck in the DoorDash interview.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, let's see. Let's see what happens, man. I did most of the problems. I'm gonna finish out the rest today and early tomorrow. So
Nice. I have
yeah.
been playing Kingdom Hearts 1. I beat the game in like 3 days, and then now I'm playing Kingdom Hearts 2. So that's what I'm probably going to continue doing.
When I played that game, I always thought that if I beat so like there's this stage, the Colosseum in Kingdom Hearts 1. There's a Colosseum
Yeah.
where you'll see Hercule, and then once you beat all these people, like you end up fighting somebody with this long ass blade. I
Yep.
forget his name.
Sephiroth. Yep. Sephiroth.
Yeah, I always thought, like for some reason, I
If you
read
beat the game,
online
yeah.
on Reddit
Yeah, if you
or
beat him, you beat
something.
the game.
Yeah, not only that, if you beat him with like no hit, bro, you didn't get touched. Like there's like a special cutscene that'll come out. Somebody trolled the hell out of me on Reddit because I spent days playing this, trying to perfect whooping him,
Yeah.
and yeah, bro, I almost cried, bro.
Dang,
But
yeah. No, I think he's literally the hardest boss too in the game. I was
yeah,
looking I was trying to fight Riku with a keyblade and I was like about to cry. But no, then I realized, oh, you have to like equip like some items that reduce shadow damage, and I was like, okay, there we go. But yeah, oh, another time too, I played I bought when I was like 7 or 8 or something. I was super young. I bought a Gundam game for PS2, I think, and I thought that game was Transformers. I thought that if you beat the game, you get to transform into a car. I played that for so long. You know my disappointment.
dang.
Yeah.
Hey, yeah, the only other L I can remember is it was back in the Blockbuster days. Like I went to Blockbuster and I rented out this was like Final Fantasy X, but it wasn't Final Fantasy X, it was Final Fantasy X2. It was all
Okay.
chicks. And so I'm playing this game, I'm like, yo, I just gotta keep playing it, and then the dude's gonna come out. I'm like, what the fuck is this? It's just a bunch of chicks the whole game. Um,
Nice.
Dug like 70 hours into it doing random side quests.
Nice. The Blockbuster days, crazy.
Yeah, back in the day, man.
All
Back in the
right.
day.
All right. Cool. Thanks. Yeah, thanks a lot. I'll talk to you later.
Yeah, appreciate you, man. Peace.
All right. See you. All right. All right. All right. Well, that's that. I was late. Yeah, just doing a interview. So, Fuad got a job offer at Amazon. He got a job offer at Rippling, and was just walking through what's his how did he do it? How did he do it? How did he get the AWS offer? TLDR, I think he probably said it maybe probably in the last minutes, 10 minutes ago. Set a goal, had like some good strategy, asking Amazon engineers what this interview is going to be like, what things you should know, and prepping, uh, prepping, doing like 120 LeetCode problems in like 3 months. Yeah. Is Amazon interviews harder than Microsoft? And Kay mentioned that he yeah had to. Oh God, where were we? Kay mentioned that he had to interview 3 times at Microsoft. Overrepresented populations can keep roles within their groups via referrals. Yeah. The concepts of American companies should disaggregate down to ethnic level. I don't know. I'm not sure what that means, Kay. I feel pretty represented. Seeing a lot of Nigerian people in tech helps. Yeah, I don't see a whole lot of Nigerian people or just black people in general. I would say, if I had to guess, I would say we're probably 5% of all software engineers. 5% of all software engineers. It's like, if my guess is that if you go into a company when there's 100 software engineers or whatever at Google, 70% of them are going to be Asian men, and then not 70, maybe 50, no 60. I don't know actually. Maybe 60% Asian men, 30% Asian, or not Asian, white males, white men, and then 20% women, and then like Hispanics and everybody else. Okay. 120 LeetCode for 2 months. What is his rating? That's kind of racist. Actually, I don't think it's racist to say a statistic, right? What is it? What's the racial composition? Is that racist to say, like, if you walk into a room, if you walk into a company, I can tell you at Citibank, if you walk into the office, the Tampa office of Citibank, you will see 80% Indians. Um, or, I mean, maybe you want to say it's not India, but just Asian. You'll see 80% Asians, particularly Indian, though. Bobby Blue, wait, lie? Oh, you're saying it's racist because it can't be a black person can't have 3,600 rating. Nice. Based. Um, I can show you his. This is his part of his LeetCode profile. This isn't his true one because he made a new account when he was studying. I think. This is LeetCode rating. I'm just kidding though. Again, this doesn't tell a story. It's his second account, so it's not his actual one. He has another one where he solved more. But no, he solved a lot. I think more than most people, honestly. 25, 30. But also keep in mind he worked at Microsoft. I guess Bobby wasn't there for that. He got in Microsoft. No, I mean he also killed his interview. Just by the way, like he knows his stuff. But he killed his interview except for system design. But no, he worked at Microsoft, worked at Lyft, worked at other companies. Like he's got the experience down. It's not his first rodeo. Not his first rodeo. I've had Microsoft ask me back-to-back LeetCode hards before. That's crazy. Then other teams with mediums. Yeah. Bobby Blue. With this, you can get to AWS. Yeah. Amazon. Did my Microsoft interview when I was a student. Jamil Gara. My first LeetCode problem was dynamic programming. Multi-dimensional problem. So you're right. Probably depends on the interviewer, but I think in Microsoft questions are set pre the interview. I wonder if I can actually put my chat overlay so you guys can actually see the Twitch chat like pop up, or not Twitch chat. Twitch chat pops up, but YouTube chat does not pop up. And that would be nice for people to see. Actually, another thing too I can do. I could just move it, but whatever. What's this chat overlay? I'll probably do it later. I mean, because I could. It probably isn't that hard for me to actually add it right now. Probably is not that hard. Let's see here. Like if I were to make a copy of this and I were to paste it, and then I were to rename chat, restream. Oh no, it's actually duplicated. Big yikes. Okay. If I were to delete, how about, let's see here, web browser, chat to, and then we take the URL and place it over like this. Can someone type something in, or maybe I can type something in YouTube chat. Or maybe it looks like this. Chat is ready to display messages. Does it pop up? Or, looks like it does actually. It's not transparent the way that I would want it to be though. I don't know. We'll leave it. Save that for another day. Okay, cool. I think that's it, guys. If anybody doesn't have any questions for me, I'm gonna head out, and I'll see you guys later. And I think next interview is going to be, at least I want it to be like maybe Chi or Brent. Maybe I'll ask them. It'd be cool to talk to them. See what their thoughts are. One, Brent he currently has 3 software engineering jobs right now, and that's the route he's gone. So he actually did not go like the LeetCode route for like increasing his salary. So he just got like remote jobs. And so could talk to him about how he does that and things about that. LMAO, imagine his employer saw that. Yeah. Yeah, I could make it private, so only a stream. Don't have to turn into a YouTube video, just only stream. Only people who are going to see this are maybe 20 max or whatever. Maybe 100, but like nobody really goes on Twitch, so. But that'd be cool to talk to him, how all that stuff works. He's a busy man though. He's very busy, working 3 jobs, sorry. Yeah, Prince, quick question, bro. What's up? What's up, Prince? What is up? NVM, I'll just DM you. I mean, you could ask me here too. If you ask me here, then other people can benefit from it. And I answer anything. So you can just ask me now. Oh wait, also, can I put my chat thing here too? Wait, holla. No, bro, you can't even read this. Wow. You cannot read it. All right, cool. Oh. I see if they make sure they understand the problem. Brute force versus someone looking up to come up with an inefficient solution. Explain their solution prior to code. Yeah, I think that's solid. I think that feels like that's solid for like the rubric. Oh, Jamil asked, how do you rate people? Is it good, excellent, no higher? That was a question on how you rely on it. I made it my own problem, so folks don't remember LeetCode problems. But yes, most scrap from LeetCode. What is ELO? ELO is your contest rating. So it's, I think comes from the chess world where like you get a certain amount of points based off how you do in a contest. So I believe you said you did the contest, Prince. And how do you use zero track is your question. So what you do is, right, like there's some skill level that, people are at. So I think Fuad got, 1 out of 4 on this contest that he did. So we don't actually know like how good he is. It depends really on variance. If you don't know how good you are, you could start with zero track and just do 1400 problems. I think that's like base level, like what most people can probably achieve. But you can have a random number generator generate a number between like this range. of values and say like this is like your max skill level, right? Like, okay, here, hold on. Actually, I'm talking probably really complicated. Elo is your skill level, and it's a numeric representation of your skill level compared to everybody else. That's why, like, when I have this number, there's only 3.2.7% people who have a higher number than me. And same for this, there's 40% people who have a higher number. So you can, with this numerical number, you can actually approximate like what skill level and what's your max level of problem. So for example, if you were to give me a problem that is like a 2000, I would struggle really, really hard to do that problem because it's just out of my range. Or, you know, true and expected range, this value is not true. It depends on variance, depends on what the day it was, how you were feeling when you're doing the contest, things like this, of course. But approximation. We can say that 2000 is going to be too hard for me. But you can take somebody who is like Midnight Simon, let's say, or Chi-Chi, who have a higher rating than me. Well, that same problem is going to be a lot easier for them. And so you can essentially just use zero track and start at like 1400, maybe find what your range is. When do things get super, super difficult for you? Maybe it's 1500, whatever. And then you can also generate a random number on just Google search like random, give me a random number and we'll do it for you. And you can play around with that. So like, for example, generate me a random number between these subsets. And you'll see that. So this is what I do when I'm practicing. If you look at, I guess when I'm actually solving LeetCode problems, and then you just pick the first one that comes off the list. See if you can solve it. Prime num pairs with target sum. So here doesn't look like I've solved this before, so then I would start reading this. This is a pretty easy problem, so I should be able to do this, you know, fast, right? And so that would look like, oh, you're given a number range in, we say two integers, x, y, form a pair. If they're equal to some in and they're both prime numbers, return sorted list of prime numbers, pairs, and given, you know, some in here. So we have 3 plus 7 is 10, 5 and 5 is also 10. And for this one, I think you probably are going sieve of Theseus or whatever, but you just generate the prime numbers that are up to 10 and then maybe go through them again and get to add the values. I don't know, something like that. But solve the problem and go through it. Keep going. Eric, you went to UF. Yes, I went to the University of Florida. That is where I attended college. Bringing up corner case edge case can be good too. Yeah. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it like always. You got senior plus to interview others. You gotta be senior plus interview. Basic stuff is very important as if you're smooth, slow, the majority amount of time. Yeah. I think everything K said is correct. I agree with it. And I think it applies to not just Microsoft, but other companies. Well, I'll see you guys later. And again, too, if you guys want to talk, again, I'm really, really trying to build out this school group and actually have a community of people. Ideally, you know, sharing interviews. I mean, you don't have to really, but sharing interview experiences, talking about interview experiences, hanging out, just talking, whatever, about anything. I think that would be a cool thing to have. And I think it would be helpful where somebody can just post and ask for help and somebody else can comment. So if you guys do want to join school group, I'm going to leave a link to it. And again, I think a lot of the people, it'd be cool if the people in chat also, you know, use School. I love School. I think it's amazing as a platform. And Lawrence Decodes just joined your head in Amazon. No, this was an interview. So I was interviewing Fuad, who got an Amazon offer. But wait, did it not send? Or not? Okay. Cool. I sent it in the chat if anybody wants to join. That's kind of the kind of goal here with that. It would be nice to have people just chatting basically. But anyways, I'll see you guys. Peace. Until